Okay, so for this question here, this is relating to the same f of x that we have up here. So if I were to fill in my values that I had here from at 0, I'm going to have 10. And so I'm splitting up these intervals into 1-unit intervals. Okay, so if I'm going to do that, this is my left hand edge, but from 0 to 2, I don't have a 1 in here, so I have to estimate a value for my left edge for 1. So that's a problem. So I'm just going to skip that for now. I'm just going to fill it in. So at 2, my left edge is going to be -2. At 3, my left edge is going to be 0. At 4, my left edge is 6. At 5, oh, I don't have 5 there, so I don't have a left edge, but 6, I'm going to use a left edge of 6. And I don't have a left edge for 7. Okay, so this is a bit of a problem in that I've got my left edge here, 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 here. But I'm being asked for a left edge interval right in the middle, okay, at 1. So I need to be able to draw a left edge rectangle here and here. To do this, what's implied in AP Calculus is if I'm going to find the middle value here, I'm going to use the average value of the two y coordinates. So to find that point there, I need to take the average of -10 and -2. And so that's going to be at -6. Okay, so I'm going to use -6 as my point. So I'm going to redraw the graph here. Okay, so I'm just going to draw another graph here and start using these values. And we can compare it to what it looks like in the previous one. It's going to make this a little bit better looking. So I have 0, 1. These are all going to be increments of 1 now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and I need 8 as well. Okay, so at 1, I'm going to use 10. So that's one I had before. Okay, so I had that one before. That was one of my rectangles that I had before. But now to do a new rectangle here, I need to use the value of -6 to work out that rectangle. Okay, so this is going to be the new rectangle that I got from that point. I'll do all these in green. These ones here, I'm going to keep on going here. Where's green? Okay, so at -2, that's no problem. I can draw in another rectangle here. Left edge 2, left edge is 0, left edge is 6, so 6 is right about here. So between 5 and 6, I'm going to use that rectangle. Okay, this one here, again, I have to use an average. If I want to find a mid-interval value that's not stated, so that value of 6, if I look up here, between 4 and 6, I don't have a value. So I'm going to use a mid-interval value here, and that mid-interval value is going to be the average of those 2 points. Okay, so I'm going to use 7. The same thing is going to happen at 7. I need to use a mid-interval value between 8 and 14. I need to use that mid-interval value there, and I'm going to use that looks like to be 11. Okay, between 8 and 14 is a value of 11. So now I'm going to use all those values to make a left-hand Riemann sum. So drawing the rest of that in at 7, I have a Riemann sum here at 8 and 11, something like that. Okay. Now if I want to work out the integral, I have to count these ones as negative and the other ones as positive. Okay, and the nice thing is it's already accounted for here. So I'm going to find out the area, the displacement now, which is different. I'm going to now calculate the integral, which is the displacement from 0 to 8. Now the negatives get counted against So the change in the antiderivative is going to be the area below counted against the area above. Okay, so I end up with negative 18 plus, that works out to be 21, I'm getting 32. Let me just double count that. 13, 21, 32. Yeah, 32. Okay, so then the net displacement works out to be 14 units. Okay, and the difference between questions A and C is that, well, first of all, A has irregular widths of intervals, okay, and this is talking about area, so we're just talking, anything underneath is counted as positive. In C, okay, we have now regular intervals where I have to take mid-interval values, and the areas below are counted against the area above. Okay, so that area must be counted against that area above, and it's signed in that way.